Hey guys, this is the Writing Prompt channel. Here, we take posts from Reddit and read out loud the best stories with the help of a bot. Enjoy this amazing story. The Writing Prompt by user Bigs_in_Vegas. You wake up in your bed. In your room as it is March 1st, 2020. Just as it should be. You reach for your phone. But instead find an old-fashioned alarm clock. Where did that come from? As you go through your day, you realize you are in an alternate reality where the internet was never invented. Here is the amazing story made with the help of the prompt by user KinPsychosis. Good morning, America. What a blessed day to be alive, said the radio as it sprung to life. I rose from my bed. The instant realization that my immediate surrounding was as strange as it was inexplicable made my brain bolt awake. I was still in the process of waking up, dazed as I tried to piece together my room as here. Now what a better way to celebrate such a blessed morning than with a jolly tune. The radio began to play a familiar song that seemed to have that vibe so reminiscent of the 30s and 40s. I was not quite sure what genre it was, but several games I played during my prime seemed to emulate that old-fashioned style that to me was so symbolic of something haunting which hid just underneath that jolly exterior. My bed sheets, the blinds, the wallpaper of my room, all fashioned after this glassy brown color like sepia pictures from the Wild West. I started to become lucid. No longer able to assure myself that I was still dreaming, or that I was still in the process of waking up and just wasn't thinking straight. I checked the calendar. My previous tablet slid into a sleeve replaced by an ordinary and plain calendar. It was March 1st of 2020. I checked and double-checked. But that year was unmistakable. Was this a prank of some sort? Was I losing my mind? A black small notebook was clipped next to the calendar. I took it and loosened the black elastic binding to go through it. Every event, every occasion, still went as it should have. But it always seemed altered. It dawned on me that my tablet vanished. But I had not gone back in time. Technology should have kept its course. I went through my belongings. The jeans I had removed the night before now were well-tailored trousers clipped with suspenders. Instead of my usual phone, I found some derelict phone with dials and buttons. A screen to its credit, but nothing that could be used to connect to the internet. I ran through my home, only wearing a tank top and underwear as I checked whatever else I could to affirm what was happening. But even there, I couldn't find a computer. What is happening? I was beginning to lose my mind. The reality I had built up for myself coming loose by the seams. Unraveling. This was not the world I knew. And by extension, I had no clue how to make any sense of it. I quickly dressed myself, moving out of the house onto the streets that seemed to have been pulled out of a distant time. Almost as if it was a reenactment festival. The streets seemed to emulate that sense of the 40s. The cars evolving in a way that made them more fanciful, large, and classy, moving away from the sleekness that seemed so typical of automobiles. I went to a library, trying to ruffle through the history that I knew of. Things stayed mostly the same as far as I could tell. Events concerning the Roman Empire, or even the Mongolian tribes remained intact. I spent hours there, sweating through the shirt as my mind raced with such fervor that I felt like I was running rather than being seated in a quiet library. But my mind was anything but quiet. It was screaming. Did something change? What could have possibly explained the madness going on? I found no reference towards the invention of the internet, and to a greater extent, computers. It was strange. Finally, I got to a point which grabbed my attention. Following the ascent of the 1900s, World War I took place as it should have. But then suddenly, there was no mention of World War II. I frowned. The passages about the war simply calling it the Great War and how Germany had yet to rise in lieu of their demise. their economical collapse now putting them in a situation where they had to constantly borrow money from their neighbors, including Greece. Now if this made sense to me, let alone, how could the events that didn't spark World War II result in computers and the internet never happening? I pondered, reflecting back to history class so long ago. Then it hit me. The first computer, the creation of Alan Turing. It seemed silly, but he was known for creating the first computer which worked in ones and zeros, sparking a renaissance in technology that catapulted man's progress exponentially. If World War II never created a need for Turing's creation, did that mean that it also never resulted in the evolution of computer power? And by extension, internet? I wondered. I looked through older history books targeted at the World War, finding no references to Adolf Hitler. I tried to come up with explanations, but only one seemed likely. And even then, it was nothing short of mere fantasy. Someone must have killed Hitler, be it as he were but a child or whenever. But it certainly was before his rise to power. A time machine? I muttered. The words seemed ludicrous. I felt ashamed of just thinking about it. But looking around me, I had no choice but to consider the possibility. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. R. Kiki writes. The end. Thank you guys for checking out this channel. Please subscribe, like and share this video. See you in next one. Thank you and goodbye.